I'll find the right button eventually, I swear. Alright, there we go. Welcome back, everybody, to Pokemon Colosseum. Last time, we got a decent way through Pyrite on our first run. And today, it's time to show that I've cheated. I have not cheated in the traditional sense, but I've cheated in the partial sense. As anybody that was watching this earlier might know, I was definitely having some problems with the natures not being adequate for both Umbreon and Espeon. So, I've replayed the game up to this point. The levels for Umbreon and Espeon are the same. I did keep track of those, wrote them in a little notepad. So, Espeon was 29, Umbreon was 28, I am sure of that. And now their natures are Rash, in the case of Espeon, and Careful in the case of Umbreon. So those have changed. Obviously, the natures of all the other Pokemon have changed. The other thing that I have done, and this is more to save time than anything, is the heart gauges on all of the Shadow Pokemon I've obtained thus far all have the Undo the Final Lock section. Every last one of them does. Both the ones on my team right now and also the ones that are in the PC. They have all been reduced to as much as they possibly can. I just did that by fighting the characters in the battle square over and over. If you fight them, if you go into any area, any door, and then come back out, then you can fight them again. They won't have more Shadow Pokemon or anything like that, but you will be able to fight them again. As a result, I did get a little bit more money out of that. I only used it really to buy more Super Potions, a couple Hyper Potions, and some Revives. I also sold the White Herb that I had because it's one of those things that makes Pokemon like you less, and the Awakenings because Awakenings have no point when you can literally just call your Pokemon to wake them up. Why would you use an item? So, free money. Also have a fair few Pokeballs, I have a few Great Balls, and then the Premier Balls, of course, from buying 10 of each that I used. Other than that, we are pretty much exactly where we were on items and whatnot beforehand. So, not too terribly much of a change. I'm not going to do that with later Pokemon that would be on my team, where I'm just going to keep resetting until I get what I want. But since I was pretty early on, and since it was pretty detrimental in terms of what nature I was getting, I figured it probably best to not deal with that for the time being. Talk to Kale again? I thought I had already gotten the, So I'm pretty sure I played up to where I was. I fought Kale, obviously, because I have Furret right now. Do I need to talk to him again? I don't remember getting the gear back is the thing, so that might be part of the issue. Actually, you know what? I know what I never did. I never went to Duking at all, I don't think. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't. I don't know if you need to actually talk to these guys or not, but I know when I come back out, then Silva is going to be there. And then he'll run off, and at that point he will steal the gear, and then we can move on. Slam! Thanks, Phoenix Wright. I don't think you have to talk to Duking. I think you literally just go close enough to this little thing right here, and this dude will come stumbling out like he's drunk. Yep. Here comes the drunk man. Flop. Yeah, we get to see those again. To be fair, this is probably one of the earlier sections where people will get lost because you're like, oh, you need to find the gear that Silva hid, and I don't think there's any indication of where you actually have to go. So, showing this twice might not be the worst thing in the world. I'm willing to bet if you went to, like, the fortune-telling thing here, maybe they would tell you, or there's probably somebody, but it's kind of weird that they don't explicitly state, hey, it's at the construction lot. The only thing I could think of that might give you a tiny hint to that is the fact that you have to come here before you go to Pyrite Town in the first place. That's the only thing I can think of, though, where it just might be like, well, we went here initially and there wasn't anything here, so maybe there will be now? So now this guy can resume his 20 or 30 or 50 or however many years of cranking gears. And by cranking gears, they of course mean standing there doing absolutely nothing. Just call him Luigi. Hello, Mr. Eid. You look like the brother of Mr. Eid, even though Mr. Eid's a robot. It's probably just the mustache, to be fair. Just drop it in there, it's fine. Yep, 30 long years, yeah. Well, if you're so excited about it, why would you call it long years? Like, why would the years be long? Like, it's a long amount of time, sure, but by saying long years, you're implying that, like, it felt like it was longer than it actually was, even though years are roughly the same amount of time. Alright, so now we should be able to battle in the Colosseum. Who do I have in lead? I have Quilava and Espeon. I'm actually going to switch to Umbreon and Espeon for this. Since their heart gauges for everybody else they're already as low as they can be until we can purify them. I know they get the experience after they get purified, but that said, I would like to have Umbreon and Espeon still get some levels as well because they're not at level 30, so... I was slightly a little bit naughty, and they're at the same levels, but they're both very close to a level. So I'm willing to bet they will both level up after just this first fight, which would put Espeon at 30 and Umbreon at 29. And I'm still not 100% sold on using Umbreon, so we'll kind of see how that goes. Hello, Barboach. Freaking hated Barboach whenever I first started playing Pokemon. Because I didn't realize that, like, I tried to use electric attacks on it, and it's part ground, and I didn't realize that, because I was like, I didn't look at the type on the Barboach itself. I was like, oh, it's a fish, it's obviously water, we're just electrocuted, it'll be fine. As it turns out, it was not fun. I just realized these are actually higher level than I am. Not by a lot, but... There we go, over 100 HP. He flinched, which means he's basically dead. The one thing I don't remember is if they heal you between battles. I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah, look at that special attack, 101, beautiful. Turn on Swift. Actually, yes, because I'm not ever going to use Helping Hand, so... I actually do use Reflect on occasion, and I will use Return on occasion, if Confusion's just not optimal. And I probably won't keep Swift, but it also doesn't miss, so that's always a plus. Always a plus. Alright, so we've killed the first man. Let's kill the second man. Wave to the crowd. I swear, it's like they just use a random name generator in this game for names. Maybe that's an actual name out there. I do not know anybody named that. got a Meditite and a Natsu, huh? Yeah. I'd rather deal with the Meditite, honestly. That, and I also thought there was a pretty decent chance it was just gonna use Protect/Detect on the first round and just immediately block anything I was gonna try to do. Also, the Natsu's faster, so. Bye-bye, birdie. Power, which will probably be super effective. Nope, not very effective. Well, that's a weird way to walk over there. Walk with your legs or walk with your arms, don't use your legs. Alright, interesting call. Let's show off Swift, why not? And Secret Power, sure. So Swift literally just fires some stars at him, and then it doesn't miss. It's not bad for normal attack. A guaranteed hit's always nice. She went from, like, don't make me laugh, you'll never win, and then she loses. Like, oh, you're not half bad. You're alright. Thankfully, this is only 4 rounds, so it's not too terribly bad. Oh, is this Geets? This might be Geets. Nope, this is Vilch. Vilch. An electric and a grass, huh? Alright. I don't remember if it's grass dark yet, or if that's not until it evolves. Or it may not even get a dark subtype. I don't remember. Oh well. I already know what I'm doing in this. Yeah, I think he knew what I was thinking too. Because... Nope. I was going to say, because that Electrike probably has static, and it's probably going to try to paralyze me. And I know that while Synchronized would also paralyze it, I don't want to deal with paralysis. Also, yeah, they do heal you between fights, so that's good. Oh, I didn't realize you had another Pokemon. Maybe. Wailing on that guitar. If I had Quagsire out here, I'd be more worried about getting rid of that Cacnea, but eh. That's probably the worst thing it has, honestly, just for the chance to poison. Alright, let's find out if it's a dark type. No, it is not. It is dead, though. Three down, 1 to go. I don't remember what Pokemon is the Shadow Pokemon, because I think the finalist has one? I don't remember. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just take you into the hideout, and then that's the point where you're like, well, let's get them. I honestly don't remember. They might have a Shadow. We'll find out, though. Bagon, I want it. I know it's not Bagon, unfortunately. I wish it was. I'd love to have a Salamence. I would gladly train up a Bagon to get to Salamence, and have done so many a time. That is well worth the price of having to wait. But since I cannot, I would honestly still consider that more of a threat than Goldeen. Even with it dying in one hit, it's still more of a threat than Goldeen. At least to me it is. Well, if I'd known he was going to switch to Magnemite, I probably wouldn't have attacked with Bite, but oh well. Also, what up, Fuller? How's it going? Welcome to the early game of Pokemon Colosseum. This is going to be like 5 damage between the two of them. 10. I think that was 2. It's like one of them has really good special defense, and the other one has really good physical and special defense, so of course it's not going to do anything. Yeah, let's do that. Get that Magnemite out of here. Well, yeah, it looks like they'll actually get up one more. Okay, a Delibird, really? Is that... I was supposed to say, there is a Shadow Delibird in this game, but I don't think this one's it. Delibird is terrible. Always has been. Though in grinding to get all the Pokemon's heart gauges, all the Shadow ones down to 0, though. Man, I forgot how bad Slugma was. Like, I knew it wasn't great, but wow, it was, yeah, it was hard keeping that thing alive in fights. There was one girl over and over I had to keep fighting just her because she has a team of all grass Pokemon. Thanks for the extra health, I appreciate that, by the way. And as a result, it was like the only team that Slugma could survive against, even though the team was much lower level than Slugma was. 31. And 30. Yes, I would gladly take Confuser, eh? I don't use either of these moves. I'd rather get rid of Taunt, probably. They're both going to go at some point, I'm sure. Learned Confuzzle Ray. And Goldeen's his only one left, so let's just mash like crazy. I'm trying to remember the last time, Fuller, that I was actually on a stream schedule where you were here. To be fair, there's been a long break since I streamed last, not counting Colosseum a couple days ago. We are still planning on doing Ocarina of Time. Icarus is still going to be doing that blind. The reason we had such a long gap was because she got COVID, and so obviously she was stuck at home for 2 weeks. And then I got a cold, and yes, I'm sure it was a cold and not COVID because I did get tested for it, so we're good on that front. So I ended up with a cold, and then later on I was trying to update my graphics card, and it turns out that the program that I use to stream this window, i.e. the Easy Grabber or this, doesn't support a lot of the drivers, and so as a result I had to take that card out and put my old one back in, which is fine in terms of, like, it wasn't difficult to do physically, and also the new graphics card was given to me for free by a friend, so it wasn't a financial loss either. And then after I got all that sorted out, she got COVID again from one of her coworkers that likes to bar hop and not wear a mask because her coworker's an idiot. So, yeah, it was a bit of a mess, to say the least. Look at us all walking together, synchronized. Left, 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 right, left. Ooh, that looks shiny, even though it's not important. What a dumbass. Just lets you right into the facility. Still not as bad as, oh no, I dropped the lift key guy, but still pretty bad. It'd be really hard to find a contender worse than, oh no, I dropped the lift key. Because that's pretty bad. So I'm curious, have you seen Colosseum before? Either, like, just in general, or my playthrough, or Icarus's playthrough, or is this a first run-through of the game for you? Because a lot of people I know didn't get the chance to play Colosseum or XD, which is a real shame, because I think it's really good. It can be a little bit slow in terms of battles, because there are no single battles in this game. They're all double battles. Unless you want to count, like, getting knocked down to one Pokemon on both sides being a single battle, but... Alright, I gotta see how much this will do. I was expecting a little bit more than that. I could probably do that 2 more times and be fine. So that is what I'm gonna do. Time will just keep one-shotting the other members on his team. Espeon's fast enough that won't really be able to do anything. It actually took a fair few resets to change the nature. I wasn't even looking for, like, a phenomenal one. I was just looking for a decent one, but every time I kept loading in, it was like, nope, this is an Espeon with either low defense or low speed. And I was like, I just don't want those. Anything else is fine. I think this one ended up with low special defense for the stat, but, like, its special defense is so high even with that it's probably fine. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you definitely at least have seen this one before. Depending on how I feel once I get this done, like, all the way through, I might hop onto XD right after. It'll kind of depend on how I'm feeling. Because I've been playing this one, which is admittedly a pretty slow game, just in terms of pacing. And I've also been doing, I started to play through a couple days ago, not streaming, but just on my own time, of Pokemon Platinum, which is also a very slow game, just physically slow. I'll go with that. And I'm actually going to use Confuse right now. Thankfully, I was able to play that one on a cough, definitely not an emulator cough. And so I could turn the speed up 200%. And so now the game actually plays at a pretty reasonable speed. So it's not quite as bad. It's been such a long time since I've played Gen 4. I should probably go back and, like... I might do that at some... Maybe I'll do that this year for streaming. Is, like, just play one from each of the generations. So, like, Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Of, like, all the main ones. I'll go through them. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Alright, reflect. And let's start trying to catch this thing. Also, in case you're curious, I'm definitely keeping Espeon. I'm definitely keeping Quilava / Typhlosion. Outside of that, I've not definitely kept any... Like, I'm not keeping anybody for sure on my team thus far. Those are the only 2 that I'm absolutely sure I'm keeping. So I probably won't do it this stream, but I think next stream I'll probably make that like a channel points thing. Of like, if you have enough points, you can just choose one Pokemon that I have currently to put on my team. Maybe do something like that. I've got to use Espeon's turn to throw a Pokeball. I think everything there is just too strong. Yes, on Gen 4. Like, I like the Pokemon in Gen 4, but, like, the games are very, very slow. Just, everything is slow. Like, even when you're running around, like, running is slow, the battles are really slow, the animations are slow, even, like, the HP gauges going down are slow. It's really weird, which is also kind of funny, because none of the 3 starters in that game, between Piplup, Turtwig, and Chimchar, none of them are really especially fast. Like, Chimchar's kind of up there, but the other 2 are definitely slow. So it's just like the game just feels slow all around. It's a very unique experience. I didn't even like it that much. Like, the first time I played, the first time that I had played, I guess it would have been Diamond is the one I had. I didn't like it that much. I'm trying to remember. I borrowed it from somebody. I think I had sat next to somebody on a plane, actually, that also had a DS at the time. And so, like, we swapped games while we were on the flight, and so I got to play it for, like, an hour and a half. And it just, it did not catch me at all. And I picked Turtwig, which was, at least at the time, I don't know about now, but I did not like Turtwig at all. Like, it was just not for me. And so as a result, it was just, did not catch my interest. With Piplup, it was a lot better, but still, it's definitely not my favorite generation. That's still got to be 2 or 3. It has to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't remember if Yanma got unconfused or not, but I don't want to attack it, so. You know, if I'd been smart, I would have saved before I did this, because I might end up killing Yanma by accident. Because if I end up killing Yanma... Oh, Umbreon got confused at some point, I guess. Because if I end up killing Yanma here, and I'm probably just going to throw a Great Ball at this point, honestly. I feel like that would just be a generally smarter thing to do. Items. Now, I can't throw 2 in one turn, so I'm just going to call. I don't want to do anything else. But if I kill Yanma here, I either have to see if there's another point in the game in which I can get that Yanma, or I have to reset and do that tournament all over again. And thus far, I'm probably going to kill Yanma because it is not doing a great job of letting me catch it. And it's probably going to kill itself right here. Nope. Reflect more. Well, now I can at least do something with Espeon again. Reflect. Alright. See, that's another one I need to play. I need to play Gen 5 again. There's just all these gens that I don't remember after 4. Like, I don't remember 5 that well. I don't remember 6 that well either. God, for crying out loud. Yanma, why do you just want to die? Like, seriously, it's a horrible idea. You could either join me or you could die. Just like ancient times. How you increase your army. You can say join me or die, and most people, unsurprisingly, will probably join you. Yanma, calm down. Did it? Did it actually? Throwing these till I run out. So you have to play a lot more carefully in catching Pokemon in this game and in XD than you do in the normal games, because outside of, like, fights with a legendary, like, where you only get one chance at it. In this game, a lot of the Pokemon you only get one chance, but if you saw them out in the wild, normally if you killed it, it'd be like, oh, well, I'll just go and keep hunting through the grass or the cave or wherever until I get another one. Let's try Premier Ball. I usually seem to have good luck with those. In the meantime... I mean, I could let my Shadow Pokemon come out here, but there's no point. if I manage to catch this thing, I'm not going to get any experience for it because it's a catch, not a it's a catch, not a kill. So I'm not even going to try putting confusion on it again. That is just going to cause me more harm than anything. Do I have any? I think no, wait, I might actually. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to check its moveset. I think this has Thunder Wave on it right now. Yes, it does. Alright, I'm going to shift that out. And then that's going to be pointless, because I'm going to throw a Pokeball that will catch. This is also one of the reasons I like having Ampharos on your team, is to be able to throw Thunder Wave on a opponent's Shadow Pokemon just straight out of the gate. Unless they're immune to electric attacks, which doesn't happen too terribly often in this move pool. And sure enough, I was right. Switching out was pointless, because I caught it right after. What, the other one's not going to try and fight me? It's always been interesting, this idea of, like, the Pokemon even attacks people. Like, I get that from, at least in some regards, of the human side of, like, oh, a trainer would never dare ask their Pokemon to attack them, which, at least in the anime, we've already seen multiple times is not true. But I feel like wild Pokemon would very much attack trainers, especially if they, like, the trainers got in their territory, or they were, like, trying to catch, like, their kid, you know, like, the Pokemon's son or daughter, like, animals are still territorial. Why wouldn't Pokemon be? Oh well. Read it? Nope, I don't want to read it. I'm actually not going to go there yet because I'm pretty sure that dude drops down and ambushes you, so I'm going to heal first and save. I made that mistake on the last time we played this where I forgot to save afterward, and thankfully it didn't end up penalizing me for anything, but it was definitely like, oh, that was a bad idea to not do that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Actually, I am going to swap out Yanma for, I guess, Furret, sure. Just to walk around with it and start working on getting the Shadow Bar down. I'll probably not use it in fights at all, but just for the heck of it. Yeah, Sephiroth did come to Smash. I still have not played Smash since, like, I did that huge stream of it where I played it, and I did, like, the entire story mode 100% in the span of, like, 2 days or 3 days. That was the last time I played Smash, and that was, like, launch day. So I've not played the game since any of the DLC have come out, not even Piranha Plant. I know she'll fight you if you attack. Or if you talk to her, rather. Yeah, I think we'll stick with what we got now. Now that they're, like, they're about where my team is, now I'm okay with using Quilava a little bit more, just knowing that it'll get that experience later. So if I end up fighting a team where it's like, oh, this is just a bunch of, like, bugs, and both Umbreon and Espeon are weak to bug, then I can just send out Typhlosion, slash Quilava, and just destroy them. Not that bug type's ever been particularly threatening when it comes to what the AI has, but still. And it hangs on by the skin of its teeth for all of 3 seconds before it actually gets killed. You will usually find me killing Pokemon that, like, if I have to pick between the two. If there's one of them that I've run before and it's like, yes, I know how dangerous that is, I'm probably going to kill it, which is why I ended up killing the pre-evolution to Salamence immediately over Goldeen. because I run Salamence many a time and know how dangerous it is. And I don't even mean in, like, tournament level. I mean just, like, in normal playthroughs, like, Salamence is wicked strong. At least, especially back, like, at this point, when Gen 3 was still a thing. And, like, Gen 3 was the newest Gen 4 was about to come out. It was good enough at one point that it was actually tournament banned, so that should tell you something. Okay, so she didn't have a Shadow Pokemon. Ah, this might be the person. What do you think you're doing here? I'm going to heal, that's what I'm doing. But I couldn't, because you got in the way. I don't think it's either of these. You already have a Noctowl at this point, if you caught it. And I don't think it's Tailo. I'm pretty sure I would have run Swellow on my team, because I've used Swellow many times in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Yep, it's not either of these. We'll just... I'd rather deal with Tailo first. It's frail, yes, but it can also do a lot of damage. It kind of is a little bit of a glass cannon. Alright. Yeah, the Hoo-Hoo will be a little bit stronger defensively. But only a little. There we go. Very nice. Man, he tried to ambush me and he gave me just a little bit over $200. Give me nothing. Just so I don't have to do that again. This of all games is definitely one where you want to save often, just because that hole, if you mess it up, then you may not get another chance. Are you Mr. Geets? There he is. There's the man, the myth, the legend. I don't know why I remember his name in particular. I'll bet that Carvanha might be a Shadow Pokemon. I wish the Larvitar was, but you get Tyranitar way later, so... I know it ain't him! But is it Carvanha? No, it is not. Okay. Well, Confusion's not going to work on Carvanha. I do at least remember that much. Rough Skin's also going to hurt Carvanha, or going to hurt Umbreon. Unless it's a different ability, but I don't remember if Carvanha has a second one. Or if it does, what it is. No, it's Rough Skin. But it flinched, so that's good. I could probably Swift kill Larvitar, so we'll do that, and try Secret Power and see how it does. Ah, I didn't get Larvitar. I was hoping it would. It's gonna leave them like both with just a tiny, tiny amount of health, isn't it? Oh no, it did get Carvanha. Nice Kung Fu noises there, just like generic punching and kicking noises. Alright, this time it will definitely kill him. You got lucky last time, kid. You're not getting lucky again. That's another one that I've run before, is Tyranitar. Only once, though. It was in a custom-made emulation where Larvitar was your starter, actually. You didn't have a choice, you had Larvitar. Which is actually really tough early on, because, you know, normally you start with something in a normal game that will do, like, it'll do pretty decent early on, and then it'll get whatever its type is. It'll get, like, a low-level thing of that, so it'll be, like, Bubble or Ember or, you know, Vine Whip, something. But Larvitar has to work a little bit harder to get anything worthwhile just through leveling up. Because it was, like, a level 5 Larvitar. It didn't start, you know, just before getting into Pupitar or anything. Scratch clearer than Screech. Yep, very helpful. You know how you have that move that lowers your defense? Here's another move that greatly lowers their defense. Get this to you right after. I'm waiting for the point where there'll just be somebody with a Shadow Pokemon. Because there's this huge stretch, like, all throughout this factory, and then, like, I know you go to the top and inside a tunnel, and there's just trainers everywhere with Shadow Pokemon. You come in here with, like, a max of 9, and you leave with, like, a max of in the 20s, I think, like the low 20s. I think I've got a better chance of killing the Remoraid before in one hit than I do with the Magnemite, so I'm going to go after the Remoraid first. Even though the Magnemite is probably more threatening, I would rather have one of them dead for sure and a semi-threat left rather than both of them still alive at half health. Will it flinch? Probably not. Oh, it did. Cool. None of these are going to be strong against it, so... I mean, try Secret Power, but it's probably not going to be effective either. This is another one that I've run before as a Magnemite. It was a shiny Magnemite, actually. It was I think the first Pokemon that I ever found that was shiny that wasn't on an emulated game. Not like a modded emulation, just a normal emulation. I'd gotten that in Sun and Moon, I think, is what it was. I got a shiny one of those, and I still have it on my file. Now it's a Magnezone, obviously, but still have it. Wasn't even looking for shinies either. It was like pretty early in the game, and I was like, based on my team, an electric type would do pretty good here. I could try going for an electric type, and the first Magnemite I ran into was a shiny. Ended up doing pretty well on my team from what I remember. It was like pretty solid both in attack and defense. I hardly even remember what I ran in Sun and Moon now. I know I picked the grass starter for that, but that's all I remember other than having the Magnezone. Like I said, they all just kind of start to blend together after a while. I just don't like really remember. Like the first team I ever ran, like I remember what was on that for like my first run through of Sapphire. I remember what I had on that team. I remember having Sceptile, Tailo, Gardevoir, of course the traditional HM Slave, which isn't really part of your team per se in terms of like what you're using to fight, but you know, Zigzagoon's really helpful in that regard for Sapphire, so we'll put him on there anyway. Salamence, and then I actually don't remember what I had for the last one. What did I have for the last one? I'm trying to remember what I would have likely picked up. What would have been likely for me to pick up? I'm like going through the game in my head right now, like trying to think like what would I have gone. Maybe a Zangoose, depending on which one I was playing. Since that's a version exclusive. But it was also my first playthrough of that game, so I probably didn't take Zangoose just because I was like, oh, it's a normal type. Ew. I don't like normal types. Meanwhile, I could have had a Zangoose on my team just physically annihilating everything that had bad defense. No, my Pokemon are gone. Now, like, I can't even guard this chest anymore. Sure, I'll take those. Oh, don't tell me this guy has a team full of bugs. Don't make me pull out Quilava, because you know I will. Nope. No bugs. Yet. I do know for sure there's an Electrike that you can get the Shadow in this game. I don't think there's a Voltorb, but I could be wrong. Nope, these are both normal. Much like last time, I would rather deal with the Voltorb than the Electrike because of static. Which is why I'm not going to attack it physically. Nice, it died in one hit. Sweet. Get out of here. Also, I'm a little surprised that Espeon outsped that Voltorb. I guess it is a level higher, but still. Bye, Voltorb. May it rest in peace. He kind of looks like Bixen from Final Fantasy X. I think it's just the hair color and the shape of his face, but he looks a little bit like Bixen. I remember him. One of the new Aurochs said something about winning the cups. Oh right, you're that idiot. He's like such a minor antagonist. Like, he just shows up to taunt you before the Blitzball tournament, and then, like, outside of just playing Blitzball, but not in terms of story, you never hear from him again. He's just a guy that's a jerk, and then you beat him or don't, you know, depending. Which is also doubly funny for Final Fantasy X, considering the Goers are, like, one of the toughest teams starting out, but, like, by the time you've been playing enough Blitzball to get all the overdrives for Waka, they're like one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league. They just can't, like, they start ahead, they're kind of like Fire Emblem Jagans, they start ahead, but then they can't catch up later. Like, them and the, probably the Ronzo are the two weakest teams by the end, because the Ronzo are too slow. Probably either, like, what, I'd say the Kilika Beasts, or, well, really, it's probably in between the Kilika Beasts, the Guado Glories, and the Albed Sykes. They all have their downsides. The Albed Sykes being their freaking goalie. My god, that stupid goalie. It's impossible to get through, I'm telling you. You can fire a jet shot, like, right at his face, and he just catches it like it's nothing. The Guado are fast and can catch well, but they'll never get the ball from you, at least, so there's that. Kilika's more of a balanced team. I'm glad that Ladybug just, like, flew right through her sprite multiple times there. Just totally fine. We'll mix it up here just for the heck of it. Hearts. Hearts everywhere. That was something I also totally forgot about Platinum, is that the professor, like, really early on in the game, gives you a return TM. It's like he gives you your Pokemon and then you go to visit him in the next town over, after you, like, go back to your mom and explain that you're leaving and all that. And he gives it to you then. Like, it's even before your first badge by a fair bit. It's weird to think you get it that early. Speaking of mixing it up, let's mix it up a little bit here for a while. Watch this guy have all water. Just all water types. Oh, well, that kind of works. Ice water? That's just pure ice, so I know I can kill that. Also a Spheal, I want it. But I know it's not available in this game. It's an XD, but it's not in this one. Spheal's not too bad. In terms of ice types for Gen 3, That's about the best you can hope for, because in terms of ice, you've only got 3 options, which is Snorunt. That ain't gonna happen. Snorunt's stats are terrible across the board. Steel, obviously, who's like pretty solid, or Regice, and those are your only 3 choices for ice types. And even then, Steel is not pure ice; it's ice water all the way through. So if you want pure ice, it's either Regice or Snorunt, which is very unfortunate. Not a very solid showing for the ice types in Gen 3. It's one of the reasons that Salamence is so strong, is because it's dragon flying, so you'd be like, oh man, an ice type would be able to just totally annihilate that thing. And you can still teach some ice moves to like water types and stuff, but having the same type attack bonus would be nice. And if you only got 3 options, and one of them's not good at all, and one of them's not a pure ice type, then like you're kind of limited on what you can do. A room with nothing, cool. I'm still waiting for the point that there's going to be a shadow Pokemon in here, but these are just normal fights. And I'll inevitably goof it up and kill the shadow Pokemon, and then I'll have to reset and then go all the way through these fights again. That's the downside of not being able to just save anywhere you want. Yeah, we're obviously gonna do that. I don't know my type matchup perfectly, but I do know that grass will lose to fire very easily. True. That's another one that I've run on my team before, is a Sandshrew. They're pretty good when used correctly. Yeah, we'll just do that. There's probably enough combined to knock it out. Oh, yeah, just that. Okay, that works. I ain't complaining. Switch that out. I'm going to try to keep Umbreon and Espeon relatively balanced in terms of levels until well, I'll do that as much as I can until I've gotten a team picked, whether Umbreon is on it or not. I'm kind of leaning towards yes, but I know that a lot of people just keep Umbreon and Espeon because, like, for the longest time, they're the only Pokemon you can level up. Except for, I guess, you get Plusle after this, but, like, Plusle starts at level 13, so it's grossly under-leveled. And even if it was at, like, a level average with your team, it's still, unfortunately, not very good. Poison, perhaps? Nope. No poison. Alright. I don't remember if acid can poison you, actually. To be fair, most like low-level poison things, you would just assume like, oh, this has a small chance of activating poison. Because most of the time that's the case. If it's gonna have to pick a poison target, I'd rather it go after Umbreon, because Synchronize would just poison it right back if it can be poisoned. It's always so picky about like what types can and can't be affected by their own things. Like, a lot of times poison types can't get poisoned, but then electric types can get paralyzed all the time, so like, okay. I know that'd give you more critical hits, but I want to be able to give you items if I need to. Bite. And I know it's not going to do a lot of damage, but Smoke Screen won't do any damage. Dig is going to take an additional turn, and Shadow Rush has a good chance of sending you into Hyper Mode again, so by default, that leaves Flame Wheel. We've got lots of option here. Still no Shadow Pokemon, though. That is genuine. I could have sworn. Like, I know there's one at the top of the building. I do know that. But I could have sworn, like, at least every other trainer had one Shadow Pokemon. But no, I guess it's just a lot of battles. Because you go through a fair few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6 up there. 7. There's 8 with Geets. You don't have to fight the lady by the elevator, but there'd be 9, and there's 10. There's the guy that lets you in, which is 11. If we're counting the guy at the top, that's 12. So there's a lot of battles in this section here. And this would be like the equivalent of going through like 2 medium-sized routes, or maybe like 1 really long route in a normal game that has a bunch of trainers on it. But usually with stuff like that, you don't have to fight every single trainer. You have to fight, with the exception of the one by the elevator, you have to fight all these. Like, there's no getting around them at all. I guess they do that to make sure that you're not under-leveled for the fight that's coming up here, but it still feels, like, really bizarre. Hang on, before I go up there. Is there a thing here? No, there's not. Okay. XDs are pretty good about hiding hiding things in alcoves, but the things that they hide are really good. Yeah, I'm very sure that whoever you fight in here, if you do fight anybody, will have a shadow. You might fight them both, I don't remember. Wreath. Oh yeah, and they're a Fire Emblem character named Wreath. I know there's a Wrath from 7, and he's not very good, unfortunately. It's so weird how the bow paladins, they just go back and forth, but there's like no median at all. They're just either like insanely good or just absolute garbage when it comes to being a unit. Like, Sedgar and Wolf are really, really good. Wrath is really bad. Astrid is really good in Path of Radiance, and then really bad in Radiant Dawn, even though it's the same character. It's very bizarre. Alright, Remoraid's pretty low level, so I might be careful with that. I'm going to use Secret Power on it. In the meantime, as you do with most spiders, set it on fire. Literally no one asked for that spider to be here. Not a soul asked for that spider. Oof. Yeah, good thing I didn't go with something stronger there. Oh, well, this might... Oh, well, never mind, it missed. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to... I'm gonna actually attack with Umbreon and Love Disc. I was trying to think who I'd want to attack between that and Quilava. I know it's low level, but I need to make sure it doesn't kill itself with Shadow Rush. Because that HP bar can be misleading, because it doesn't have a lot of health total because it's a lower level than normal. Cool. I don't have to worry about that Remoraid right now. To wiggle around. I'm just gonna get out of there. You know who that's gonna get aimed at. Yep. I was actually expecting that to do more. I know Love Disc doesn't have phenomenal stats or anything, but still. Well, I'm very sure it's dead next turn, provided the dig connects, because if the bite connects, which it should, that'll leave it red for sure, if not kill it outright. But dig might just end it right here. Yep, that'll work. Cool. Bye, Love Disc. I remember that trainer being more difficult than she was. Maybe I just have, like, memories of accidentally killing the Remoraid because of how low level it is, but, like, Love Disc, Spinarak, I mean, Ariados is okay, but Love Disc, no. Maybe this is the girl I'm thinking of that had a strong team, I don't know. Watch me get immediately disproven here. Mantine and Apom. Oh. It's Apom, isn't it? I remember this one giving me... I don't remember if it was on the playthrough that I did, or if it was just, like, on my own time when I was playing through the game, but I remember this Apom being a gigantic... No, it's not this Apom. It is Mantine. Okay. Well, I still don't like Apom, and I'm still going to kill it before I do anything else. It's tradition to hate monkeys on this channel, so hate them we shall. Also, yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Flaffy would I just absolutely annihilate this. There's no point in sending... Well, I mean, we could do it for the paralysis, yeah. Might as well do that. I was going to say, if that thing gets hit by a Thunder Shock from Flaffy, it's going to die, probably. Because I think it's actually water flying. I could be wrong about the flying subtype, but if it is, then that means it's definitely going to die in one hit. Bite and Thunder Wave. Haha. That's what you get for using Astonish like a cheapo. Now get out of here. Again, no one asked for Apom. No one asks for Spinarak, no one asks for Apom. There you go, much better. Just love the mouth on Mantine. It just always looks like he's chewing gum or something. It looks really funny. Gonna try to eliminate everything else before I start working on that Mantine. We'll see how good Flaffy's Thunder Shock is. Eh, not very strong. But it's also Thunder Shock. I wasn't expecting it to kill it or anything like that. I actually am curious, what is Flaffy's nature? Adamant. Interesting. I actually don't remember what that one is offhand. Well, while it's going through all of these, let's find out. So otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting here watching this fight go on. Oh, it looked like it survived with like a 1 HP left on it. You've got to be kidding me. Adamant is plus attack and minus special attack, which is really bad for Flaffy. Awesome. That's like the worst one you could get, because Flaffy's not going to be doing any physical attacking, but it would be doing a lot of special attacks. Unfortunately, that's going to kill Flaffy, which is a shame, because that... Even with that bad nature, it still probably could have annihilated Yanma. We could do a battle of the Yanmas, but I'm not going to. I want that Yanma out, so I'm going to kill it right now. Bite and Confusion. Get out of here. Fuse Ray, and we'll see how Return does. I remember this thing having pretty decent defense. Yeah. He can take a couple hits with no problem. So we shall parafuse him. Oh, learning. Of course, if he gets through it anyway, he's fine. Doesn't matter. Alright, let's hope let's hope Secret Power doesn't decide to do a critical hit and be super effective out of nowhere. There we go. That'll work. Now, provided that it does not Confuse kill itself, which I think it's got enough health to be fine. We should be good. I like how it's just a giant grabby hand, like, this is mine now. Nice. Yeah, both of those catches went much easier than I remember them ever going. Unbelievable, too! So you got your butt kicked, huh? Yeah, you're laying on the ground. You must be in horrible condition. We'll go and grab the file. You don't need these files for anything, they just tell you more about Shadow Pokemon, so I'm not going to read them, but if you want to, then you can. The main reason I came down here, though, was A, to heal, and B, because there's an item. You have to be very careful not to accidentally open this door, though. There we go. Because for some stupid reason, when you walk through this door, it closes, and then lo and behold, you can't open it from that side, even though logic would dictate if you manage to open it from one side of the game, would just be like, oh yeah, you've clearly unlocked this door, you can now open it from the other side too. But nope. You gotta go all the way back up and try it again. Well, in the meantime, I think that will do it for me for tonight, because I know for everybody else it is a work/school night. I just happen to have tonight and tomorrow off. So, if we do stream tomorrow, I'm going to try to stream a little bit earlier. I got caught up in other things, which is why it took so long. But, we've taken care of clearing out the half of the building, or the full of the building, and so we'll not have to worry about doing that next time that we come to this. In the meantime, let's go raid somebody. And I believe Tim is actually streaming right now, so we can raid him. What is Tim playing, out of curiosity? Oh, he's playing Minecraft. That's not what I thought he would be playing, but sure. So again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you probably tomorrow. I don't know if we'll do this necessarily, but we will definitely be streaming something if I can get away with it. It might be Zelda. We will see.